Welcome to the AA Sports Podcast, minor league feel with major league discussion. Here are your hosts, Alan and Alan.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of the AA Sports Podcast. We are your hosts, Alan and Alan, and we hope everybody's been doing well. How you been doing?
Doing good, you know. Like we said, ain't too much going on. Just doing baby stuff, getting registry done, picking out stuff, looking at IKEA because IKEA is apparently actually finally delivering.
Hey, there you go.
So about to get that together.
As you guys can tell, I got a quarantine haircut. Thank you to my wife. And we also tried giving our youngest Noah a haircut. That did not go over too well because the hair's in his eyes, man. I felt bad for him. So I was like, all right, dude, we got to cut your hair. So get a little snip, snip here, snip, snip there. And now he looks like the owner of the Oakland Raiders on one side because it's so bad. I was like, I'm not even going to touch the other side. So it's like half and half. Yeah, dude, it's terrible.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man. I know Peyton has some long hair. Surprised you haven't cut that one yet.
Oh, we were trying to. He didn't want to do it. I wanted to throw a 4-guard up there and just shave it off. And he was excited at first until he saw me get my haircut. And he was like, no, I don't want a haircut. I'm like, dude, you're going to get one regardless. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let's get into some baseball, some beanball talk.
All right.
So first thing first, Trevor Bauer. We always talk about this guy. He's great. A very weird, different personality. Especially everyone loves it for baseball. Well, on the Korean broadcast that ESPN does, he was up there talking to him. Well, ESPN did a little boo boo.
Uh-oh.
They leaked his phone number.
Oh, man.
Because he was doing FaceTime, and they didn't cut out the clip on top. It says FaceTime, and it had his number right on top of the screen. So, yeah, he started getting some phone calls.
Yeah, he said his voicemail filled up quickly, and according to Twitter, they broke his FaceTime.
Yeah. So, pretty much he tweeted out, said, so ESPN has just leaked my number to the entire world. It's an honor. Shall we call it a massive screw-up? So I'm doing a giveaway. I'll give away a pair of signed cleats and autographed baseball in the next 48 hours. Rules are in my voicemail. Good luck.
Wow, nice.
He has not tweeted since. No winner has been announced. Word to the wise, all athletes appearing on TV for ESPN, use a burner.
Exactly. Jeez.
Oh, man.
What a mishap there.
Especially,
how did they leak his phone number?
So I saw the clip. Of course, they haven't shared it since, but right on top, there's a little black line that says FaceTime from this number.
Oh,
and
wow.
they cropped the screen down
rookie
to hide it.
They must have laid off some of the personnel.
Well, you remember, this is the Korean baseball, and it's first thing in the morning, so I don't know if they just didn't do it or who knows what. But, it's I laughed. I'm like, wow.
And that's all you can do about the situation. Just laugh. I mean, Trevor Bauer's a good sport.
Yeah.
He I'm sure he's not taking it too hard.
Yeah.
Got to get his number changed. It's not the biggest thing in the world.
Yep, new phone, whoop-de-doo. So he can get it, so.
All right. Well, next thing we want to talk about is kind of baseball related. If anybody out there's been watching anything sports related on ESPN, you've probably seen The Last Dance about Michael Jordan. Well, they released a couple more episodes, and we're all talking about episode 7 right now, where he gets into baseball.
Yeah. So pretty much in this, the previous, they do 2 a week, if you don't know about this. So the week before he just finished the first three-peat.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a little bit of it because I haven't been watching much of the series, but I did see where everybody was all up in arms about him going to Atlantic City, and they said he had a gambling problem, but he was playing with some other shark on the
the golf course.
Yeah, golf course.
Investigated. Yeah,
owed $1 million, but that's not a lot of money to Michael Jordan. So I mean, he claims he didn't have a problem.
Well, not now. Then it probably would have been.
Well. He wasn't complaining about it. None of his teammates.
He had his endorsement deals. He was fine. But towards the end of it, you see he was slowly getting burnt out. Well, the next episode, it was when he just won his 3. He's feeling relieved. And he started thinking about maybe walking away.
Right.
And then, of course, it goes into his father's death. So that even pushed him more. But apparently what it said also in the episode was that he thought about walking away the season before. To go play baseball because that's how bad he wanted to play baseball. But what stopped him was apparently Magic and Bird never won 3 in a row.
That's true.
So he submitted to that's why he felt more relieved than excited when he won that 3rd.
I mean, yeah, a lot of guys can win 2, but to win 3, that puts you on your own Mount Rushmore, right?
Yeah. So how it all broke his retirement from basketball. He told the owner, he's I'm not going to talk you out of this, whatever. So they went to the White Sox game because he threw out the first pitch. It was a playoff game. And, of course, he was in the owner's box. And then
in the playoff atmosphere. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the rumor started swirling around the ballpark that he was retiring because the next thing you know, Chicago announced a press conference in the morning. And then it just started swirling. He left the park real quick. Next morning, it was official. Well, for about 2 months, he worked out for baseball.
Okay.
Well, of course, the Bulls owner, was it Jerry Ross, right? But the Bulls owner actually owned the White Sox at the time.
Okay.
So since they did do improvement the 2 months of working out, they offered him the contract, and that's how he got with the White Sox.
Yeah, and I guess from their point of view, they're thinking, hey, if the guy's going to retire from basketball, he's going to go to baseball regardless. I might as well go ahead and help him because he's still going to make some money because of the name.
This is what funny during the documentary was the owner still paid Jordan his basketball contract.
Wow.
Because he said he was so underpaid during his basketball years that he still felt like he should pay him.
Hold on. He's underpaid. What about Scottie Pippen?
Well, at the time, that year or those years, he was only getting $3 million a year.
Wow.
So he just won 3 titles. He felt like he, double-A salary then.
Yeah.
Who knows? But the funny thing is, he's like, we only could send him to double-A because of the facilities. We didn't want to send him to rookie or A like we normally would. But because of the media and the facilities, I felt like it was disrespect to Michael. So that's why we sent him to double-A.
Yeah, but at the same time, the guy hasn't really played the game much. It would have been more helpful to him to go to the rookie ball to see that pitching and stuff. But I get it. That's fine.
Yeah. And then it's funny that it's all like he started out the season off with a 13-game hitting streak.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Until they started throwing breaking balls.
Exactly.
But, it's funny that his manager was Terry Francona.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, and they had, like I said, a good relationship. But Terry said he's one of the hardest players he's ever seen because apparently there's days where he came early to the ballpark, do batting practice and working out, hit regular batting practice, and in some games hit batting practice after the games.
Oh, that's just the mentality. His work ethic is crazy.
He was getting there.
That's why he's that good. He's not good just because of talent. He actually works hard to get where he wants to be.
Yeah. And then towards the end of the year, he started hitting the breaking ball.
Yeah.
So he finished with 202 average, 51 RBIs, which then for people who just got 51 RBIs is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, but compared to other guys who've made the venture, I mean, Tebow had a pretty good year. He actually went to AAA. When he was in AA, he made the All-Star team too. I mean, I'm not saying he's the best. He definitely needs to work on his fielding.
Yes.
But, he's come a long way since his first season.
Yeah, and of course, all this, I was young, so I don't remember it, but it's find out that the reason why he stopped playing was because of the strike. That was strike year. And he refused to play with the replacement players, so he went back to Chicago, and one of his players was like, why don't you just come hang out at practice? And he's talking junk, like, yeah, I'm probably better than you now. And next thing it was a one-on-one. Then he started practicing more and more. Then those rumors started flying. Then suddenly a couple weeks later, he was back in basketball.
As much as I love baseball, I'm glad they had a strike because if that's what brought Michael back to the game of basketball, which absolutely needed him, then I'm happy it happened.
Yeah. That's pretty much what but he said it was like it gave him more competition to be and he said he loved it because compared to like basketball, your home and stuff, there in minor league, you're not around family. You're just around a player. So it got him very friendly. Like he was having fun. And apparently that's what he needed in his career. I
thought I heard a rumor that Michael Jordan was offered a major league deal or was on the brink of it.
Really say anything. Probably someone did, but he, with the owner being the White Sox, he probably stayed true.
I mean, it makes more sense that way. He's already got it in.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of people who are working hard and hardworking, you see CC Sabathia today?
When you said something, my phone went off and I checked. I'm like, okay, hold on. You wait to retire to get in shape.
Right. I mean, he was like the biggest. He's like Bartolo Colon out there.
If he got in this shape, he probably could have played for another year or two.
Right. I mean, well, so not only is he in shape, he's ripped. I don't know if you guys saw CC Sabathia, but check out his social media.
We'll put a picture up.
Yeah, he is ripped. Which, like I told you earlier, it's not great for a pitcher because a pitcher doesn't want huge arms. It affects their throwing. But he could have at least gotten in shape while he was playing the game.
Not that rip, but
exactly
better.
Right. Yeah, we're going to have to show you guys a picture of what he looks like if you haven't seen it already.
It was shocked because you remember the big bulge, him trying to pick up balls and run. It was hilarious.
Exactly.
And then you see this picture, like, damn, bro.
I'm like, CC, I mean, what do you wear, like a 5X jersey? What is happening right now? He's doing it. I don't know if it's the coronavirus or he's on a keto diet. I don't know what he's doing.
Who knows?
But my man is about to be in a strongman competition soon.
Maybe he's not like eating as much because of the protein, the ballpark, people feeding him now. He got a dietitian, strict diet. Like
he should have had that while he was playing the game.
Probably, especially the Yankees.
That's okay. I mean, CC, you're still the man. I'm glad you're getting in shape. We need to do the same here.
Yeah. So in light of the Michael Jordan, stars switching sports, what other players would you like to see to switch sports that maybe could probably work to play baseball?
Well, obviously, I would like to see the guys that I know could have some success, like Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. That's one name that I'd love to see. He's killing it in football. He's always my fantasy go-to quarterback if he's available. And from what I understand, he got drafted. He can play baseball.
Yeah, he did play minors and then went back to Wisconsin to play football.
That's crazy. I'm always in awe about these these guys who can play two sports really good. Like when I think of it, I think of like Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
He played a great football player. He played baseball too. He's like the only player to hit a home run and score a touchdown in the same week.
Yes.
And he also started the Tomahawk Chop for you Braves fans. So you can thank Deion Sanders for that one.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at like that, it's definitely rare nowadays you kind of ever see
right
that
because
probably.
nobody wants their players playing two sports or let alone the same time. I mean, geez, that's not going to happen ever again.
Fly in and
no,
yeah. Two people sticked out. One for me was definitely defending MVP of the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He grew up in the clubhouses with his dad.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
He did play high school ball and college. He kind of stopped early,
That's why I like Russell, because he actually could get there. He's like, his talent was good enough that he could compete.
Yeah. Like as a senior in high school, Mahomes was reaching 94, 95 miles an hour of pitching.
Wow.
So,
that's pretty good.
His dad was a reliever, so he could have maybe, but he wanted to pursue football. And then the other one with me, what if Kyler Murray stuck with baseball?
Yeah.
It's like he had a great one season finally when he had an season, went to the Cape Cod League, got better, had a great season, got drafted, of course, first round by the A's, and he's like, I just want to go to college for 1 more year, then I'll come to spring training, and then he had a
we knew that was
football year.
We knew why he was coming back. Yeah, he had the itch.
He finally got the opportunity to be the starter after Baker left.
And I think his heart's in football. So
we're wondering, and then when he's like, I'm going to draft, like it's dumb not to.
It's absolutely. We knew it was a done deal.
If he gets an itch, A's still have his rights if he wants to, maybe one day, or at least go to spring training like what Russell did, hit some balls.
I'm sure there's some other players I'm not thinking of right off the top of my head, but I think like I said, Russell Wilson would be an interesting one just because of the success he has already as a quarterback in the NFL.
Like there's 2 times he went to spring training with the Yankees and then, Texas.
Although I guess I can't say that because, Tim Tebow, he won a playoff game. He beat the Steelers with that little Hail Mary kind of little action
going on. He's going to see what
he
does this year.
Yeah, well,
he had a terrible year last year.
I know. He sure did. And he looked pretty bad in spring training on the field, like trying to catch stuff. It was just bad routes. He needs to work on that.
Yeah, definitely. So, next subject, Japanese baseball leagues are finally getting hopes for starting up next month.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be good, especially depending on what's going on with the MLB. I mean, if we get some more baseball started, we'll at least have more to watch, more opportunities to see some kind of game being played. And we do know that Japan takes their baseball very seriously.
Yeah.
They have great players, great league. I love the fans. I don't know if they're going to have fans in the stands. They might do like China and have the fake fans, but...
Yeah, so pretty much, the 12-team league is, their quarantine for the whole country ends May 31st, so they're hoping sometime in June. They said most likely the All-Star game there is, canceled this year. So
that's tough.
For the first time in 70 years, but the season was supposed to start March 20th, just like ours. So they didn't really figure out if they're going to do a whole season or half season, what yet. But they're
still trying to figure it out themselves.
Yeah,
they're hoping for a June start, but like you said, 12-team league. Is that all they have?
That's all they have in Japan.
That's crazy. I didn't even think it was that small. I figured in Japan, I thought it was like a minor league system, like everywhere.
Nah, they probably have smaller teams than this, but their major is only 12 teams.
Okay, well that's interesting. Well, speaking of their season possibly starting, it reminds me of the Olympics that were supposed to take place in Japan. This is going to be the first year we were going to have softball back.
Softball
and I know
baseball,
that Kat Osterman, she had a position where she was a coach for, I can't remember what team it is right now, but I saw today that she's preparing. She's going to be leaving. She's preparing herself to go play for the Olympics when they come back around. So that's, I can't wait for that to come back. I just don't know what's going to happen because I think what they say, or maybe it's the World Baseball Classic. No, she's only doing it for the softball, but I think they said the World Baseball Classic is going to get pushed.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
But, yeah, speaking while we're talking about baseball over there, might as well talk a little KBO action.
Yeah, so what's been going on in the KBO?
So, got some power rankings.
All right, power ranks of the KBO.
So the Kiwam Heroes are 5-1. They were undefeated, but they finally just lost a game. Shang Woo Chu has been the anchor of the busy bullpen, going 3 for 3 in save chances.
Nice.
The Dozun Bears, Jose Fernandez of Cubo has hit 344 for them and led last year's with a 591 average. And last year's, so he's back right at hitting balls again. They're 3-2. The Twins are 2-3, rallied from 6-0 first inning deficit to hand the Dinos their first loss, 10-7.
Okay.
Dinos is next. They're 4-1. Broke out of the gate 4-0, but solid starts from a few former big leaguers. Drew, what was that? Ruski and Chang Mo Chu combined to throw 12 shutout innings.
Wow, that's pretty good.
The Lowett Giants, a league best 3.13 ERA, got the team 5-0, who finished last in 2019. So
yeah, I didn't get to watch much of it yet this week. The odd times throw me off. Plus, I have to work in the mornings. I have to work during the day. But I did see one highlight of this guy making this crazy good catch off of shortstop or second base. I can't remember what it was. But he basically ran out there and it was in almost center field and caught it over his head. Diving catch, pretty much. It was pretty cool. And then the other thing I saw was one of the former Tigers players, Dixon Machado. I guess he's over there raking. He has at least 3 home runs. I guess he leads the league.
Yep.
He's doing pretty good. From what I'm seeing, he's trying to take full advantage of possibly getting a job back in the major league.
Yeah, so this is his first year over there. Last year he was with the Iowa Cubs, AAA all last year. But between 2015 and 2018, he was with the Tigers up and down between AAA and the main club. But so far this season in the KBO, for the Lowett Giants, he's batting .389 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, if baseball here gets started again this year, that somebody might need to reach out to him.
There's a possibility, or they might, with the shortened season, if we get it going, they might, if he has a great full season, there's a possibility he might come back. You never know.
I mean, that's what the goal is, right? I mean, I'm assuming that some guys are going over to get an extra chance. They don't want to play in a minor league system, get lost in the sauce. But, as they're getting all this airtime
over there, too.
They could be, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If you get a chance to come back, you're not going to want to come back to a minor league deal. You're going to want to get on a major league team.
Yeah.
I get it. But, yeah, so it looks like the guy who caught that catch was Kia Tigers' Park Chan-ho. So if you guys get a chance, take a look at that. Dude went over there over his head and just caught one. Pretty good catch.
So, yeah, and then, the Samsung Lions are 2-4. They're struggling. The Kia Tigers are 2-4, but they have the week one's top hitter, Preston Tucker. He's batting .476 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs.
Yeah, that's a pretty good stat line.
So
who is Preston Tucker?
He apparently played for the Braves, Reds, and Astros.
Okay.
So he was probably, a bench person, and now he's going to get some play time.
Great for him.
So, but yeah. So, 5:30 in the morning games. Might be checking one out this week. Probably.
Oh, yeah? You're going to wake up early enough to check one out?
Yeah, I get up at that time. So.
Oh, the guy Preston Tucker, if this is the same person I'm looking up right now, he's still young. He's born in 1990, so he's pushing 28, 29, right?
He'd be turning 30 this year.
So it looks like he had a pretty good season for Houston in 2015. He was only there for about 300 at-bats, but in those 300 at-bats, he had 13 home runs, 33 RBIs. His batting average was average, about 243. But other
does he
than
play?
It looks like he's a right fielder, so he's an outfielder.
So
His career stat line, he batted 222, 23 home runs, 68 RBIs. Nothing impressive, but, I mean, it looks like he found his groove over there.
yeah, but, if it was with Houston, Springer and Reddick and all them came over at that time. So
15, 16, he played for Atlanta, and 18 in Cincinnati as well. He split time there.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't look like he played a ton.
yeah, it's like I said, bench roll.
Right, exactly. He
Bench
played,
bat, every couple days. So, but hey, making most of your money. So, all right. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, everyone. Welcome back. So, we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, the WBC is apparently canceled and most likely be postponed to 2023.
And it's crazy. I mean, I just don't see how they cancel it already when it wasn't supposed to take place until March of 2021. I guess they're thinking this is going to be a big pandemic, right?
The only thing I can think of is two reasons.
Okay.
One is the Olympics possibly being, because part of the WBC was going to be in Tokyo. So maybe that's while they're trying to since they still got to finish building it.
Right.
That could be a possibility.
And another thing that probably was a big part of it was that I saw the event that was going to take place currently had the most recent collective bargaining agreement that they were using, which runs through December of 2021.
This year is a collective bargaining
So
year.
if they had to wait till after December 2021 or whatever the case may be, then they would have to renegotiate to feature MLB experienced players.
Yeah.
So that's huge. You got to have those guys.
And then the other reason is like right before all this happened, they were going to start that other tournament because they expanded the teams from the 16 to 20.
Okay.
So the 4 other teams supposed to play that little tournament in Arizona towards during spring training that got postponed. So I think that's another reason why.
Right. Plus, like you said, I mean, if all these nations or different places like Miami, Tokyo, Phoenix, whatever, have to host them in Taiwan, depending on what's going on there, it's right. It's best to cancel it now so you can figure it out when things are settled down.
Yeah. So for the WBC, they're of course going to use United States, Marlins Park and Chase Field, Japan, the Tokyo Dome, Taiwan, the Intercontinental Stadium, and so and then like I said, the teams that are supposed to play in that tournament: Panama, Nicaragua, Brazil, the Philippines, Germany, Great Britain, France, Pakistan, South Africa, and Czech Republic will post the fight for those 4 spots.
Okay.
So this way it gives more time, and I think because you don't want to play WBC and then a couple months later play the Olympics.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think it's all kind of combo of everything kind of happening. Which at first I was like, when it came across my phone, I'm like, we're talking about next spring. I'm like, why are we canceling this? And then I was like, oh, possibly Olympics. You don't want to do both in the same year. I said, unfortunately, probably. So I said, okay, postpone a year, but not 2 years. But
Yeah, I know, man. I love me some WBC.
yeah, so we'll see what they officially announced it yet. They present it to the board, so they'll probably make an announcement soon. Because like you said, they're not in no rush. The tournament was supposed to be till next year.
Yeah, I get it.
So, all right.
Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
So it looks like the MLB draft is only going to be 5 rounds. This has been confirmed.
Yeah.
I know we mentioned it, but now it's real.
Yeah. So we talked about last week how people were hearing 5 rounds, 10, and it has came out. MLBPA has give MLB the green light to do 5 rounds. They wanted 10, but they ultimately gave it 5 rounds.
I just don't understand how 5 rounds is going to do any kind of justice, man, because you're used to having 40 rounds.
Yes.
40 rounds. Think
40
about
rounds
this.
last year. The MLB draft had 1,200 players drafted. So this year it's going to be 160 players. If you add most likely the supplemental picks that's going to be thrown in it. But yeah, so 160 what we're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 5/8 of the rounds, man. It's just nuts.
So if you think about some of the 6 through 10 rounds,
Okay.
this is some of the names that have been drafted recently. Jacob deGrom, Dallas Keuchel, Paul Goldschmidt, Marcus Semien, Whit Merrifield, Kyle Hendricks, Brian Dozier, Trey Mancini, just to name a few.
Exactly. So that's what we talked about last episode. We said there's going to be some diamonds in the rough. We're going to have guys that are worthy. They're going to be great players that aren't even going to get drafted this year.
But then the other news came out about if you don't get drafted, which I think is a dumb smack in the face. But before we get into that, so apparently there are bonuses for these players who do get drafted.
Okay.
They're getting their bonus is not coming out right. They're not getting it right away.
Oh, no.
So this is what apparently is being reported.
It's getting deferred?
90% is getting deferred.
Oh, no.
They're going to get 10% up front when they sign. 45 is getting paid next July. And the remaining 45 is going to be July after that.
Okay, so with that being said, do you think that right there, that stipulation is going to prevent some of these guys from actually signing with the team that drafts them? Because there's been guys who've been drafted first, second, third, fourth round or whatever that didn't even sign with the team, and this is even without those stipulations.
If I'm not a first rounder, it's going to be, I'm going to look at it probably really hard, especially if I wasn't a senior and I can go back.
Exactly, because some guys will bet on themselves. Say you get drafted fifth round, you're like, well, you know what? I think I can get drafted third or second round next time around. I'm going to go back and play. But with that being said, we're not even sure if there's going to be any sports next year because right now all the universities are shut down. And if this thing keeps dragging, the schools, one of the schools I saw recently, like a Texas school or something like that, they just cut their football program, D2 school. They cut their football program already. But what I'm saying is, if this drags on and some schools have to make cuts or something happens and kids don't go back to play or there's no sports next year, that could hurt them as well.
The biggest thing for universities if there's no college football.
I agree.
Because college football pretty much pays for majority of other sports, especially the bigger universities.
Well, let me tell you this. All right, so let me tell you this. Old Dominion University, as the pandemic was happening, so right around spring break, when this thing first started, they already cut, after that happened, like a week or two after it happened, they cut their wrestling program.
Which is one of the top in the nation, which I was very surprised when I read that.
But that's what I'm saying. Nothing is set in stone. So these players who think they might go back, we don't even know if sports will be played next year. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a big gamble. If you get drafted the top 5, you're probably pretty good, or at least they think you are. They have faith in you. But at the same time, these stipulations on how you're going to get your bonuses, when they're going to get paid, does not sound good to me. Unless you can negotiate a higher bonus to get deferred later.
And then this is the biggest thing in the world. This could become the norm come next year when the collective bargaining agreement gets agreed to. Because remember we said MLB is trying to buy the minor league system to be their own. This could be something that could be a normal thing very soon.
Well, I'll be interested to see how this works out. And best believe I'm keeping my eyes on some of these guys who are going to get drafted because I want to see what happens.
And then the smack in the face, which we talked about, is if you don't get drafted.
Exactly.
So prior years, if you don't get drafted, the max you can be signed as a bonus, signing bonus.
20,000 or something?
Was 125 before.
Oh, before, yes.
Now it's $20,000 max.
That's crazy. And like I said, Pujols got drafted 13th round from a Missouri junior college.
My question is this going to be deferred? Or is you get the 20,000 because it's so little, or you're talking about the ones who are getting like $1 million bonus gets deferred, but the 20,000?
I can't imagine they defer a 20,000 signing bonus. And if
because here's $2,000 for signing with us,
right? And who's going to want to take a $20,000 signing bonus anyways? If these players are getting drafted top 5 or anything like that, or even like after that happens, 20,000 is not a lot.
Yeah. So apparently it's to save money for the teams. But if you really do the math, what some people did, you're talking about only saving $2 to $3 million a year per team.
Okay.
Is that really hurting the bank?
Well, it might be. And we'll get into that later, why it might be an issue, because right now these owners are relying on revenue coming in, and it's not.
Yeah.
So it could be a reason that some of the guys don't have huge pockets. I mean, yes, they're rich, but they need this money coming in from the season that didn't start yet.
Yeah, like you said, it's all weird, to go from 40 to rounds to 5. 10, I was okay maybe making it work, but still is too short.
Yeah, I just don't get how they came up with 5. And it must be, like I said, it's got to be the money thing, because we still need to get this season rolling, and we can't do that if you're paying all these guys money that you're drafting, that you're not having extra money to come in to offset it.
And especially, it's not like you can send them to minor leagues
right,
to work out
because they're not open.
There might not be no minor leagues. We don't know yet. So, but yeah, so that's interesting to MLB decided to do that. So let's go to the next topic. I guess we kind of got a clear-cut version what the season is most likely going to be like, finally, from the Major League, because the owners and MLB have a plan and has sent it to the MLBPA.
Right, but the issue is that I don't know if they're going to agree to these terms. One of the terms up there is a 50-50 revenue split, which we just got done talking about, basically. And from what I understand, about 40% of that revenue comes from localities, as in ticket sales and concessions. Well, if there's no season, that's 40% that you're not getting. If they're playing a season without fans in the stands and you're talking about a 50-50 split, you're getting hurt because 40% of that income isn't coming in. That's huge. And I can't imagine the Major League Baseball players, I can't imagine their association agreeing to terms where there's uncertainty. There's like a ceiling. They don't know what's going to happen. And if they're not going to want to take a pay cut. I know that one of the players today said that they need to go ahead and take the pay cut, but Mark Chixera, he said that these guys need to go ahead and sign an agreement, take the pay cut, but he's not playing. He's not putting his life on the line. He's not risking anything. These guys are risking a lot.
Yeah, it's going to come where they're going to fight where it might get canceled. So it's either no money or some money. The owners are probably going to argue, like, look, we're not making no money. We're losing. Like we said, Mets might walk away from this being negative $400 million compared to they already almost in a whole 100. So they might add $300 million in debt because of the ticket concessions.
And I get it.
Like
I see it from both sides. You're right.
Yeah.
The owners have a great argument. Hey, guys, we're going to split the profits.
And unfortunately, they did agree upon something where it was, just a pay cut from the reduced to how many games it was going to be.
Okay.
So they agreed upon that a couple weeks after the pandemic started. Well, now it's been longer. Now they're thinking no fans in the stands.
Fans in the stands in roughly half the season.
Yeah, and they make most of their money from concessions.
Exactly.
Souvenirs and ticket sales. So if you don't have none of that, it's hard to make a profit for baseball unless you have a nice TV deal.
But some people do, some people don't.
Exactly.
The Dodgers do. But some of the smaller markets don't have those.
Exactly.
And that's those players right there are going to be the ones arguing that this 50-50 split is garbage because they're not going to make any money.
Yes.
And they're putting their lives on the line. I get it from both sides.
Yeah.
The owners say, hey, look, guys, this is going to be a tough one, but we're willing to split with you guys. But then the players are like, hey, we're putting our lives on the line, going out here playing this game, and we don't know what's uncertain. And are you guys going to guarantee if that we catch coronavirus while we're out here playing this game that you're going to not hold us responsible, you're going to pay for it, you're going to take care of us? There's a lot of things they need to discuss.
I was really surprised that nothing has leaked yet with the conference call today. Like, what's the safety?
Yeah, we were supposed to hear something today.
Today was supposed in the conference call. So I'm real surprised that they've been hush-hushed kind of about this. I don't know. They really, like they said there's going to be testing, but we don't know the exact details of this. But, for what we're hearing, what MLB owners would like to do is the 82-game win season.
82-game season. And starting at around the 4th of July weekend.
July weekend, which would be great. 4th of July, baseball, It's always been fun every year. And it's a great to have a semi-opening day on that weekend. So 82 games is roughly what they're looking at to play their division rivals and only regional AL teams or NL teams.
Right.
Opposite.
So like NL East versus AL East.
Yeah.
NL West, AL West, things like that.
Yeah. So
that would be interesting.
Yeah. At first, when it says it's just division, I'm like, okay, here's 82 games, play your division, whoever's the best. Okay, cool. Then it came out, the next day, like, oh, now they're talking about interleague play with just the region. I'm like, okay, so how are we going to do this? So if you break it down, if you play 3 games roughly against interleague, you're talking 15 to 16 games, depending. They might add an extra one.
Okay.
So then you take that from 82, you're left with, you're going to play 16 games per division opponent. So 8 at home, 8 away.
Right. Okay.
That's
not
bad.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's not terrible. The crazy thing is, well, and also they're going to give you the DH. So that's big. So this will help both sides. It'll make this game pretty interesting. But the biggest crazy thing that I saw was that we're having a short season and we're also having 14 teams make the playoffs.
Yes. So they're hearing that instead of expanding 1, they are hearing 7, which people were hearing, and we kind of talked about that. So it's very interesting. No details exactly how it's going to be formatted or something. Some people suggested, so ultimately, so if we do get 7. So
this is going to be crazy.
What you can think, I think Buster Posey or someone said, this is my opinion, which I kind of like it.
Okay.
The 3 division winners get a bye.
They should.
Your 4 wildcard teams play each other 1 game.
Okay.
Then those two who won play another one game.
Okay, that's
and
fine.
And then the lowest seed gets one seed and go like that.
So my thing with this is that when I first heard they had 14 teams in the postseason, I was like, this is crazy. That's half of the teams period making it. That means there's teams that I don't think have any business being in this playoff. They're going to make the playoffs. But if what Buster says, if that comes to fruition, like if you have, what'd you say, 4 teams playing each other in a wild card?
Yeah, so it'd be like, it'd be so 1, 2, 3 bye. So 4 will play 7, and then 6 and 5 will play each other.
Right, but I like the idea of the wild card teams playing each other one game to see who gets advanced, and then you advance to the next wild card game.
And you play one
That's
more
fine.
game.
You still might have a trashy team in the playoffs at that point, but they earned it the hard way, so
Yes. I'm
I'm okay with it. But I still a little weary about half the field making it.
Yeah. And like I said, if it's 1-1, that's cool. Or if it goes 1 and then a best of 3 real quick, but then the other teams get a big break.
Big break. Could help or hurt.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I think 1-1 is probably more regional, and
1-1 sounds like it would make
you're
more
probably
sense.
a day in between for travel.
Yeah.
So AL one day, then AL the next day they travel, and then that way there's 4 days of baseball, wild card 4 days, and then you go start the playoffs.
So yeah, this definitely be interesting because I'm a big proponent of a series. I don't like the one game wild card games. I like a best of 3 because it's baseball and you need to have a series.
Yes.
But in this situation, if they do expand it, I'm okay with it. I'm not heartbroken.
Yeah.
I think one game and then you're advancing to another wild card game, that's perfectly fine because you got to get 2 flukes to get through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you think about it, if they do a 3-game series for each one of those rounds,
They're
we
going to
will have baseball in December.
Right, and they'll be depleted. It kind of defeats the purpose. I like the 1-on-1 because guess what? You got to play your best pitcher that first game, and then if you got to play another game right after that,
Then you're
you gotta,
number 2.
You got to bring it. You
And
got to
then you're
bring it,
3.
and then you got to play a team that's nicely rested, has a way better record, deserves to be there, and you've already played your guy. So
you're most likely your number 3 will be
exactly
versus number 1.
maybe, or you take a short rest guy like a Verlander would love to do that. He doesn't care. He's like, put me back in there. I'll pitch this after this game.
And especially being those 1 games, they're going to be shorter leases for certain pitchers.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you get in a little trouble 4 innings, they might start going to their bullpen or
Yeah.
another starter.
You would hope so. I hope we don't have a situation out there. We just leave a guy in there to die like Matt Harvey or something, and just let him get beat up at the end.
So and then other thing about the regional thing, which would be cool for us people in the East Coast, is we don't have to worry about our team going to West Coast to play night games.
Oh yeah,
But then it kind of sucks
because all the West Coast teams are only playing night games.
Exactly.
And we're talking like 10 o'clock games for us on the East Coast.
Yeah, that's all. It's like a win-lose kind of scenario because if we want to watch Mike Trout or the Dodgers see how well they're doing, we have to wake up, pretty much stay up every night till 10:30 for a start.
But another cool thing that I just thought about, I'm not sure if this will actually happen, but if they do it this way, and they expand the rosters from 26 to 30, which is what they proposed, and they're also going to have a taxi squad of 20 players. So
wow.
Right. So let's just say this is a scenario for here in Norfolk. We're the Tides, and our parent team is the Orioles. Let's say the Orioles do it this way. There could be a lot of guys who go down who usually don't go down, and they could be playing ball here. We could be watching some pros getting some time to relax here while they bring some taxi squad guys up to give them a day of rest.
Or we can see some better prospects here earlier than we expected.
Absolutely. So this could be a good thing for the minor leagues given the situation. Right. It changes a lot of things. A lot of things in motion right now.
It's still, it's like I said. And then like we said about the MLBPA, they want to.
But
reduction who knows what this is going to be.
Right. But my other thing is if they're doing the 50-50 split, like I said, it's all about cash flow. If the owners don't have cash flow, what happens if they cancel the season during the season? Like, what if they start the season up and it just gets worse? Or somebody contracts a virus on the team and they have to shut down the whole team. Now what are we doing?
It's just they need to figure out something where they have, because if they're one of the first major sports to come back, they can grow a lot from this.
They could.
And especially the popularity can get back,
because people are going to watch it. See what the UFC did.
Yes,
they killed it. They brought in $700,000 in pay-per-views alone.
Yeah. So you think about the first ones of the majors and then the major big sports, and especially if you have good TV numbers, go in the collective bargaining, and especially popularity grows, then there could be more money next year. Last year, MLB did from make $10 billion. So who knows how much they're losing this year because of all this so far.
Right. But so I get it. They're losing money. It happens. It could happen. But at the other end of it, the players, there's a lot of players who want to play now, but there's a lot of players who are more concerned about their safety, and they might not want to play. This could easily affect the outcome of what's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
It's so uncertain.
And some people are going to have to think like, do I have my family here? Do I send them home? Do I have to rent an apartment?
Right.
Maybe that's what with the money. Like, look, I might be taking a pay cut, but I'm going to have to pay this extra expense to make sure I stay clean and be able to play. It's something
exactly.
They haven't really cleared what's going to be the protocol. Like the question was when the road team comes in town, is there a hotel that's quarantined for that road team?
Exactly. So like we're saying, as fans, yes, we want to get this game started. We want you guys to get out there and start playing now, today, yesterday. But as a player, they're more concerned about their safety, and this could ultimately become a non-season. It could. It's a real possibility.
Like all sports are kind of starting to think about it. And NBA said apparently started texting players, and they said no, they haven't. But apparently, it came out LeBron James had a conference call with a bunch of players to get what their thoughts. Like they when it starts talking to them, they want to know what's going on. It's a weird time right now. Like the government's talking about another stimulus plan, extending the CARE Act all the way to January because we don't know what's going on.
Right. But I also heard at the same time that the NBA is not even close to coming back. So
like they just opened facilities up in certain states
some places,
that
right,
are allowed. So it's like I said, NBA and hockey are most likely going to go straight to the playoffs. I don't see them finishing a regular season if they want to continue play.
Well, the thing we can all agree on is some sport has to be the first to jump in. I know UFC started it, but one of the major guys has to take the risk.
And I think MLB can be much faster because they can go see what Korean and China has done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you can easily call players who played the MLB, like, what's going on over there? What are they doing?
Exactly.
If KBO doesn't want to share, but I'm pretty sure they want to share since they have a contract with ESPN now showing the games. They got to have some form of communication to figure out what the hell's going on over there.
I agree. I mean, if it's not going well over there, then we would be hearing it. There'd be guys who aren't in the lineups that are normally in it. There'd be guys reaching out saying, this is crazy. We need to stop this now. But we're not hearing those calls right now.
Yeah, we're, 2 weeks in? No, everyone's having fun. We're watching baseball.
Yeah.
So
we're getting good plays. We're getting bad plays. We're getting a lot of it.
So, it's, most MLB teams before all this were about $1 billion, except for one. It's, people heard, like we said with the Mets last week, there's no way that Will Ponds are going to get their $3 billion asking price.
And we know now that J-Lo and A-Rod are not contenders any longer.
They opt out because, they couldn't get because it was one thing if this wasn't happening, they probably could have got the people bid enough but with this going on
so much uncertainty,
especially
it's not the right time.
We're talking about the people who could put their money, how much money they lost in the stock market.
Oh, yeah.
That could have been possible. Like some of those big wigs, like, I have money, but no, I lost $5 million last week from the stock market. Sorry, I can't do this.
That could be. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be going in motion.
Steve's over there, like, waiting like a patient.
Who knows?
Strike.
Who knows?
But, yeah. So, it's all going to be a weird time until we get official word. Hopefully the next day or two, MLBPA will kind of lay out, like, we agree upon this, but we want MLB to do this for us to start the season.
Right. But my only issue with that is we're already at crunch time. They need to get into spring training now. If they're going to go back to the negotiations, this is going to take longer than this could be a non-factor.
And then what they're hearing is MLBPA is not even asking players what they think.
Oh.
MLB players are thinking for what they think is best for their players, not even asking players. So that's where it might get sticky.
It's going to get sticky regardless. Now, if they're not even getting the players involved, this could be a whole issue.
Oh, it might be. And especially if it don't turn out good for the players.
That's what I'm saying.
You're talking about they'll vote for another lead person for their contracts.
Oh, they're definitely on the hook right now. This is they're up there. They're being watched with the magnifying glass.
Yeah, between the MLB trying to get minor league, that contract's up, the collective bargaining agreement for next year. Like, no one wants a strike. You look how far baseball lost back in '94.
Yeah,
it took them years to climb out of it, and you don't want to be, America's pastime, but then a second thought because there's another strike next year.
I agree.
So they got to come to ground. Like, I know they're billion-dollar owners, but they still got to make the team work and not lose too much money because they're going to lose money regardless this year. It's just how much they're going to figure it out. I don't know.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think that does it for this episode. So if you guys like the content, please hit the subscribe button and like the video down below.
Share us.
Please share with your friends.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you want us to talk about anything or if you have topics, anything, please leave us a comment and we'll try to get to them as much as we can.
Yep.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right, guys. Thank you for checking out this episode. Please share us if you enjoyed this content. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AA Sports Podcast. Catch y'all next week. Peace.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. That's right. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. That's right. For the record, lab on me going all the way. All the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. Stop. For the record. Too nice for y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hay. I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the balls. I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they got it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage.